with another episode of Lakers Latest. I'm Gerald Glassford, the host of the Lakers Latest channel, part of the Fan Arc Network. Show some love out there if you like what we do, of course, by liking and subscribing so you get the latest notifications on when we go upload the latest Lakers Latest to you out there. Also, as well, want to go ahead and make sure you know that the Fan Arc Network has a ton of shows covering a ton of pro sports teams out there. So go ahead and show the love by liking and subscribing to the Fan Arc Network as well. And if you do, it is truly and immensely appreciated by everyone here at the Lakers Latest channel and also the Fan Arc Network as well. Well, the Lakers on Thursday, they have a matchup against the Dallas Mavericks. Still a little bit different feel for the Lakers and Mavericks, but it'll be even more of a different feel because both of the stars, per se, as far as the main attractions for this Lakers versus Mavericks matchup, are out for this matchup. So that means Luka Doncic still out with the hamstring issue. Guess they're monitoring it closely, as was said by Dave McMenamin the other day from ESPN, that this is the first time he's had to really deal with the hamstring issues, so I guess they're being extra careful. He has not been ruled out for the All-Star game for the World Team as of yet, which is strange. But yes, he is out for Thursday night's game against the Dallas Mavericks, but also out with an ankle injury, a slightly twisted ankle, is Cooper Flagg, who did that, I believe, in the Phoenix game, if I'm not mistaken. He is going to be out for the Lakers game as well, and he has been already ruled out for the Rising Stars game during All-Star weekend. So you have one star out for the Lakers, at least. One star out for the Mavericks, at least, as well. So we will see what happens if any more additional names are sitting out, like we saw on Tuesday against the Spurs. We'll see what happens. But the Lakers in a position now where, with the action that took place on Wednesday night, they still have a chance to go ahead and make an imprint on the standings with the victory before they head into the All-Star break. They have a chance to hop over the Minnesota Timberwolves for fifth place in the Western Conference, but not exactly the way I was hoping for leading into this week, because again, if everything had come out right, they would have been in third place heading into the All-Star break. But again, they are actually, even if they lose, they still will not be in seventh place, but it'd just be that much closer to Phoenix, who also lost tonight. So wanted to go ahead and make sure that was noted to you guys before Thursday's action out there. But truly great to have you here. It is Lakers Latest. Wanted to go ahead and mention it is 7 p.m. on Amazon Prime for the game. So if you guys have that, you'll be able to go ahead and watch the Lakers and the Mavericks. Hopefully LeBron, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton will all make an appearance in the starting lineup, or in the case of Austin Reeves coming off the bench, or will he be moved up back into the starting lineup? We'll have to wait and see. But that's what we have right now. If you have thoughts on Luka being held out for Thursday's game, or Cooper Flagg being held out for Thursday's game as well, please let us know in the comments below. It is always and greatly appreciated. But I just wanted to transition into something else that happened on Tuesday in the midst of the blowout by San Antonio at home for the Lakers, right there at Crypto.com Arena. And I already went on my soapbox on the last episode, and you guys had some feedback on that, so I'll go ahead and share that here in a minute. But wanted to go ahead and mention that it was the first appearance for Adu Thiero. He played 10 minutes in the last quarter, had a athletic dunk that he got off a lob, was in there, obviously getting himself back into game shape. The question is for him, what role can he play for the rest of the season? And I want to hear your thoughts, what you would like to see from him moving forward. If you're not familiar, or if you don't remember, when he was drafted in the second round, he was a guy noted for his defense and athleticism from the wing position, something that the Lakers sorely need in the perimeter. So hopefully he can get some opportunities going forward. Hopefully he has addressed some of his weaknesses outside of, his outside shot was very suspect in college. So hopefully he has addressed some of that while having to take this time off because he's had a lot of knee issues. He didn't get to play in summer league, didn't get to play in exhibition, didn't get to play much in training camp either because of his knee issues, and he's had knee issues throughout the season. So hopefully he has put that behind him and is able to go ahead now for the rest of the season, have a clean slate going forward. But will JJ give him that opportunity? And again, this goes back to what LeBron said the other day about those comments about it not being a championship team. And if that's the case, and those words resonated throughout the locker room, maybe you should try some different things if you're JJ, to go ahead and have a look to what maybe is coming up down the road. And Adu Thiero is a guy right now that's contracted for this team for down the road. Maybe you should give him more of a look for the rest of the season going forward because again he addresses, or in theory he addresses, sorry, pardon the Thiero pun there. In theory, he addresses the some of the needs that the Lakers have along the perimeter as far as athleticism and defense. So I know that a lot of commenters that I've spoken to have really stressed the fact that the Lakers, despite their recent 10-game binge before the San Antonio game, had been playing some of the better defense of the year of the season, but they are still overall a very weak team defensively. There's no getting around that. And one of the worst defend. I think one time they were 25th or 26th in the league, and they're still in the 20s right now defensively. So that being said, obviously Adu Thiero, in theory, hopefully will help with that if given the opportunity going forward. So we'll wait and see. And again, if he does manage to find a way to shoot better than the 27 or 28% from three, the college three, mind you, it's the college three, which is shorter. So if he's managed to shoot, or a lot in practice, working with South Bay, things of that nature, if he's managed to go ahead and be able to work on his game at the El Segundo UCLA Health Center, hopefully he will be able to give the Lakers a lift because again, a two-way player is much better for what the Lakers' needs are, but at least right now, defense along the perimeter is something that is definitely great need and athleticism because of our weakness against athletic teams. That's what we've seen so far this season. So hopefully Adu Thiero will get a chance indeed over the next few days, weeks, and months of the rest of the season. What are your thoughts out there on Adu Thiero? Should he get some burn off the bench for one of the league's least productive benches? I'd say why not? At this point, why not? Why not give him a try and see what can happen? At least 10 to 15 minutes a game. You've done that with Drew Timme, where you gave him some burn and then put him back in the doghouse. You did the same with Kobe Buffkin when he was on the 10-day, Nick Smith Jr. Being on the two-way. Thiero's a second rounder. He's got a guaranteed contract. See what he can do now that he's back healthy and playing for you. So please, if you have thoughts down there on your thoughts on Adu Thiero, please let us know because, again, the more he plays, the more we can get a chance to see what he may look like, or at least a glimpse of what it may look like for down the road as well, especially the fact that there's been other second rounders that Rob passed over because you remember he traded twice to move up in the draft in the second round to get Adu Thiero. So there's a little bit of pressure riding on the kid, I think, as far as him being able to produce, and for Rob for moving up twice to pick him, especially the fact that, yes, I know it's Sacramento, but Maxime Renaud has been playing pretty good as the starting center for Sacramento, including a game earlier this week of 21 points and 19 rebounds. So I'm hoping that Thiero can go ahead and justify Rob's choosing him and trading up twice to go ahead and select him in the second round. So we'll wait and see. But let me know your thoughts on Adu Thiero and if he should get more burn for the rest of the season. I know Pinty out there in Germany is really a big fan. So hopefully it will justify his enthusiasm for Adu Thiero. And I'm really rooting for him on that. And please, if you have any thoughts, do it the arrow right down below. It is greatly appreciated. But before we head on out, I wanted to go ahead and ask your thoughts on this as well. I want to hear your thoughts. It's an NBA related subject. Before I get to your comments that was said after Tuesday night's game, Adam Silver will have some words for the press in a press conference during All-Star Weekend. I know there's some things I would like to hear him talk about as far as that's concerned. One, obviously, it's expansion. Expansion. I know that the Board of Governors are gathering together during All Star Weekend to decide on that. I would hope he had said previously at the NBA Cup here in Las Vegas that he would have a definitive answer on whether it be an expansion set for Las Vegas, Seattle, or another city or whatnot. At least two teams, or would it be moving a relocation of other teams to to those cities, or nothing at all? So we'll wait and see. I'm hoping that the decision will finally be made and a vote will finally be cast by the Board of Governors this weekend at All Star Weekend, and that we can get a definitive conversation started on whether or not expansion is going to be a real thing in the near future or not. I'd like that being addressed. Number two, this is a big issue for everyone out there, and it's angered a lot of my viewers on my other channel, and that's the issue of tanking. And now, because the league thought they were so slick and trying to clamp down on the addressing of injuries or injuries with some of these really bad teams that they would have, as far as and how they were addressed by those teams. Oh, you have an injury for your leg, don't you? Oh, yes, I do. Okay, yes, you're out 2-3 weeks or 2-3 months, what have you. Something like that. I know we've seen throughout the league for some of these loser teams in the past, they've addressed it by fining them heavily. So what they're doing now is to address the tanking issue, or as far as those teams addressing the tanking issue, those teams are now being very slick as far as how they do it. Utah has been the poster child for this recently, giving up double-digit leads in the fourth quarter because they're sitting all their starters that have created that league, or their players that have created that league, playing bench players, not calling timeouts for any runs that are made by the opposing team, and just letting things play out throughout the entire fourth quarter or so, or for a 3 to 5 to 7 minute period of time. Sacramento's done this, and other teams, Chicago, have been accused of this as well in recent days. And I'm just going to say, for me, it just makes it a harder product to watch for the NBA. And my question to him, if I were to be allowed to it, as far as in sense of tanking, is, now that the Super Bowl's done, and a lot of people in the sports world, if they're not interested or semi-interested in winter sports, with no hockey around, it is, and no baseball around either. Spring training is still around the corner. Basketball is the major sport right now, unless you want to consider NASCAR, which is coming up this weekend with the Daytona 500. Your thoughts, Adam, on how to address this, because it's these type of actions. People are paying money to watch this in the arenas. I go back to what we didn't see on Tuesday, as far as what with the Lakers, but this is even more egregious if you're a Utes fan sitting in Utah, and you see your team up by 15, and all of a sudden the Lowry Markkanens and the Triple J's, they get sat down. Yusuf Nurkic's, they all get sat down and do not play for the rest of the fourth quarter, and you see that lead dwindling and dwindling until it's no more. What is the league going to do or can do to address that? As far as that's concerned. And the third thing I wanted to go ahead and mention was the Kawhi Leonard aspiration deal. If you've not yet, I highly, highly recommend, after you watch all the stuff here on the Fan Art Network, please check out, you'll have time this weekend. If you're not interested in the All-Star game this weekend, or, all the festivities and whatnot, you have time this weekend to catch up on Pablo Torre's Find Out channel. The Pablo Torre Finds Out channel is what it's called. Pablo Torre Finds Out. And you can check out the 8-part series. It's up to part 8 on the Clippers aspiration Kawhi Leonard's deal. He was the original reporter that broke the story about Kawhi Leonard getting paid by a shell corporation, or a corporation that existed that no longer exists, that were paying him for a job that he did not perform, quite a few $1 million. Now it's evolved into something much more, something bigger. Who knew? Who didn't know? The paper trail involved. It's really intriguing. It's a book in and of itself, and I can't wait to read that book when it's all finally pieced together. But the latest episode has the possibility, the great possibility of tampering by the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard as far back, not even the 2019 free agency. They mentioned a lot of that and a lot of the stuff that went on and what was asked for, et cetera, that supposedly the NBA cleared the Clippers of. This goes back to possible tampering when he was with the Spurs. Not even with the Raptors, with the Spurs first, then the Raptors for their end. So, yeah, it's really interesting. And I would, if Adam Silver were right in front of me, those three questions I would ask, and I say, what are you doing to address this, the latest revelations in regarding to, Kawhi Leonard and all that. So I'd love to hear, what he would have to say. I know it would be, as a lawyer himself, generalize, give a basic statement, whatnot, but I would just want to know if he's aware, which I'm assuming he is, of what the latest revelations are, and when, a time frame we can expect this to be properly addressed. Because if it's not properly addressed and it's not properly dealt with, that might set the floodgates open for other teams in the NBA if they're not doing it already. Because they're not all angels out there, and the Lakers may be included in that, as we've seen in the past with the PPP loan and other things like that. But there's also a recording from Jerry West, an actual voice recording of Jerry West back in 2019. That's on that latest episode from Pablo Torre Finds Out as well. So be very interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. If you have seen it, if you haven't yet, or if you have thoughts on the Kawhi aspiration stuff, please let us know in the comments. But I'd ask Adam Silver on that too as well if I was there. I'd probably get my pass revoked, my press pass revoked after that, because it is in the Clippers home arena when I'd ask that. But, I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask it. And since I'm from that area originally, I have many places to go if they kick me out of the Intuit Dome. So that's all. I'll leave it at that. But before we head on out, just wanted to go ahead and get you guys some things going on. You have some things to say after the Spurs game, and wanted to hear what you guys were thinking, and I appreciate it. You guys sounded off. When I first posted out there, as far as who was missing the game, Craig's just been sensational. He said this is embarrassing. Cancel the game. Tough So, my main man out there, he said refund the fans, and I agree with both. It is disgraceful. It's embarrassing. Mega Driver, he was saying it was disgraceful showing by management as far as how they address this. And again, if you're paying money for what you saw on Tuesday, I really feel bad for you. And if you did, please sound off in the comments. I would love to hear you on that. But yeah, it's terrible. I mean, Juan, he said, I've seen the Clippers cleared their bench last night with 4 minutes left, down by 7. This is ridiculous. This tanking is ridiculous. Again, another example of this tanking that needs to be addressed. But the problem with the Clippers is they may have won when they went on that 17-4 run. They may have doomed themselves as far as really what they can do going forward, because they can't get really high up on the food chain in the Western Conference. But they now, well, actually, it's better that they don't go lower below, because Oklahoma City, I believe, owns their pick if it lands in the lottery. So. Yeah, rock and hard place. So they have to win, I guess, at this point going forward. But yeah, taking all their starters out with 7 minutes left. Yeah, it's 4 minutes left, down by 7. It is ridiculous. And the fact that they traded away James Harden and Ivica Zubac. Yeah, clip's gonna clip every single time indeed. But you guys left some more great comments. I want to address them before I head on out. Roger says, "Hell yeah, this is the best show on the planet." Roger, Dude, you're so awesome, and I cannot thank you enough for supporting us here at Lakers Latest, and also my other channel as well. I know you're a big part of that as well. So I am truly blessed to have you watching for all the stuff that I do. Pinty, my friend from Germany, he said when LBJ comments that he should look and ask himself, do I play defense? Look inside himself, of course. Do I play defense? Why am I shooting only 31% from three? Why are making the most fast? Why is the other team making more fast break points? Oh, it's because I do not box out and just run to make stats and points. $52.6 million is what he's being paid, and not going to work on back to backs. He did on the last one. He didn't on this one. But I will give him credit on the last one. But he didn't. You're right. He didn't do it on this one. Nobody in the team listens to him. Well, as I said to Pinty, I said, well, if nobody in the team is listening to him and he's just a dead man walking because he's going to be gone at the end of the season, he is making sure that he's going to have somebody listen to him because he's sharing his thoughts and speaking his mind in the locker room almost every single week with something new. And whether it's recommended, whether it's warranted, whether it's justified, or it's just how he feels. He's going to keep on saying it. And again, as I said to him, Pinty, I said he's the most productive 41-year-old NBA player ever. That's just a fact. It is what it is. But you're right. He is, open to critique on what he does. He does not box out. There are defensive plays that he takes off. Absolutely. You are 100% correct. And shooting 31, 32% from three is abysmal for a guy who was just shooting 40% or close to it not too far back long ago. And defense, again, he does take plays off on the defensive end. And you have every right to feel that way. So again, and then 52.6, it's not $52.6 million in production that we're getting. And is it the fact that he's making that much to people? I mean, because again, the LeBron issue is so divisive about the supporters and the detractors. But the $52.6 million for what you're getting, it's not the best return. Even though it is the most productive at that age ever, it's still not, when you see the total package, not enough to help this team win enough games. But it's not just him. I mean, Luka, his efficiency from three has been terrible. His defense is not good. It's just not good. And that's something he has to address at least a little bit more, or have Rob build a team around him. He is the future. You got to make sure you build a team around him for his strengths and weaknesses. And he himself, as a player, if he wants to achieve that next level and achieve a title, he's going to have to, at some point in time, play the kind of defense that does win championships. Even if it's for a moment, even if it's for a period of time, he has to step it up. So he is deserving criticism as well. I mean, there are, AR as well. Austin Reeves, if he wants that bag in the summer, he is going to have to play at least better defense than what we saw over the weekend. There was some really defensive. Jalen Williams just in that fourth quarter, especially in two straight possessions, owned Austin Reeves, and it wasn't even funny. And if you're going to line up a starting lineup with your guard set as Luka and AR defensively, that's going to be a big question. And there are some people out there that are worried about that very thing as far as it's concerned. I know that was some of the things that was mentioned as well. That Saving Soul said the sooner the Lakers move off Austin Reeves, they can improve. Pinty said, no, you mean LeBron. So it's back and forth. Maybe both. Again, they're both have flaws at this point in time. But do you keep Austin? What price do you keep Austin? Austin may want the whole bag. He may want the whole 5 years, $241 million. We don't know what he is going to ask for in free agency as of yet. And if he does so, then it leads us right back into a situation where you have a player who doesn't excel at all points of the game, but is being paid like one. And no matter how great a scorer he is, you can see that there's some frustrations when when he doesn't get to the line and whatnot. So again, they're all deserving of praise. They're all deserving of criticisms. But this team is a 600 percentage team. They're a team that's mired in between third and seventh in the West. That's where they are, and that's where they're going to end up for this season. And it's not going to change. And it wasn't going to change with the trade deadline. Harden Kim said, I do not see what could have been done to win them the championship this year with this team as presently constructed. The opportunity to do so was at the trade deadline, and we did nothing. Another LeBron year wasted. Uh, Art Kim, I don't think, Art, that there was enough in the coffer as far as assets that they could really. They only had one first rounder. They only had one second rounder, which they used. They had five pick swaps, and they had those expirings. And we saw during the trade line the only time Oklahoma City gave up one of their many first round picks. Then there was the Ivica Zubac trade, and there was also the AD trade, and then there was also the Triple J trade. I think those are the only trades that actually concluded with first round picks. And the McCain was a single first round pick, but the others were, I think, were multiple first round picks. So if you really wanted an impact player, you probably were going to have to give up multiple first round picks, so which the Lakers did not have. And so I don't think the Lakers really could have done something that would have moved the needle. I mean, it would have been nice to get something along the fringes, absolutely, more than just Luke Kennard. But they didn't. They just got Luke Kennard, and that was it. And that's not going to win you a championship right now. That gap between them and OKC, San Antonio, Detroit in the East, you want to say Cleveland because they've been on a huge run, New York, what have you, in Boston if they get back Tatum, which is going might possibly be sooner rather than later. Yeah, that gap seems to be still widening, and I don't know how much of a move they could have made that would have closed that gap. But I appreciate your comments, and yeah, it at the beginning of the year we didn't think this team was ready enough. Like you said, as roster was constructed that had a chance to win this championship, but it would have been nice if they made more moves in the summer and then tried to make some more fine tuning at the trade deadline. But obviously, Rob has a direction he wants his team to go in, and a lot of it means cap space starting this summer. And I'll just leave it at that. But Craig said finally, in the end, it was just a scheduled loss. I mentioned on yesterday's show, it was a scheduled loss. This was a scheduled loss. If you follow sports, you have a lot of ups and downs. If you're that upset, take the John Wooden philosophy. See, Craig is so awesome because he could just, as I've learned, he could just pull out those awesome days gone by John Wooden. And man, in our age, the stuff that John Wooden taught and the things that John Wooden said, I think a lot of people should take more to heart because he was just such a winner, such a great and knowledgeable individual that he was. But his philosophy was don't get too high or too low. Give your best effort and results. Give your best effort and the results will take care of themselves. I might be upset at certain losses, but I forget it the next day. I look forward to Thursday's game. Gerald, you're doing a great job. Thank you, and I hyped the video. Craig, you're just awesome, my friend. You're just awesome. And again, it was great talking to you the other night during the game on Discord. That was just truly a pleasure. Learning all about the stuff that happened when around the time I was born, and even before that with basketball, and the stuff about Wilt Chamberlain and how you were listening way back when to the Lakers game that was going on concurrently and getting updates on Wilt's 100 game. Was just truly fascinating. Absolutely. But Craig, it was great to have you as part of the conversation on Discord. Look forward to being there again on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to dropping another great Lakers latest, giving you a report on Thursday's game, and then also a preview of All-Star Sunday. I don't know, or All-Star Weekend, I should say. I don't know how I'm going to wrap it up as far as how many shows I'm going to do over the weekend. To be quite frank, I'm thinking about just doing one encompassing the entire weekend, which might be more full of an episode. But we'll wait and see. If there's more juicy tidbits that will come out that necessitate me coming on sooner, like a Saturday or whatnot, I'll let you know. I'll drop it here. But if you liked and subscribed, and you hit that notification bell, you will see when I come up with the latest Lakers latest. So you never know when the moment hits me, what I might bring up for you. But it is, of course, Lakers latest. Thanks so much for being a part of what we do right here, and thanks so much for being a great part of what we do right here at Lakers latest.